All right, I'm back at it here on the Javelin. I got the brake master cylinder cover off. I had the brake lines off because I needed to move them out of the way to get that valve cover off earlier in one of my earlier videos. So as I showed in another video, you can see this thing is bone dry. Let me get the camera over there for you all to see. Okay, so this is bone dry, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some brake fluid in here and see if it's going to work. So what I want to do is I took the wheels off the back, and I'm going to remove the drums, and I want to take a look at the brake shoes because I want to see what kind of condition they're in. And if everything looks good, I'm probably going to clean them up. If the shoes still have a lot of meat, a decent amount of meat on them, and then I'll go ahead and put some fluid in there and start bleeding the brakes. So I'm just making my way around the car here so we can see where we're at. I did spin the wheel. I wanted to see if I had a twin grip rear end, and unfortunately I don't. So looks like I got a one-legged dancer here, wheel hopper. So I will eventually put a twin grip on this thing because I'm gonna go crazy with this car. So let's get the drum covers off and take a look. All right, let's get this off here and see what we got. I'm gonna spray some penetrating oil on this. I looked on the other side and these do break free. It looked like it was all one piece. I know Craig was telling me that at least on his Hornet, that the whole, I think he had to pull the axle out along with it, which I thought was really interesting. But I think his Hornet is a 68. I hope that's right, Craig. There we go. All right, so let's see what's in here. Hopefully it's nothing like Alien. All right, wow. Look at that. Actually, it looks pretty good. We got a good amount of meat on the shoes here. Let me bring the camera up close so you all can see. So you can see right there, everything looks really good. I'm gonna put a mask on or cover my nose and my mouth, and I'm gonna blow that out with the air hose. I do have a can of brake cleaner, but you know, there's rubber on that in there. I'm forgetting the name of what it's called again. I know the name of these parts, people. I'm just having brain freezes. Anyways, I'm gonna just blow a little bit of air in there to clear it out. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna blow the drum out. So the drum looks good. There's no scuffs on it or anything like that. Feels pretty good. I'm just gonna inspect real quick with the flashlight on the bottom here. Everything looks like it's well engaged. Springs look good. Yeah, everything looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap this drum on. All right, and then let's get this one knocked off. See what we got here. Ooh, some dead spider carcasses. And my flashlight's doing what it loves to do and not work. Okay. All right. This one looks good too, meat on the shoes. Everything looks pretty decent. This one just has spider carcasses. So I'm going to clean this thing out. See how we're doing? Yep. Everything looks good in there. Actually cleaned up pretty good. This looks actually like it was resurfaced at one time. Feels like it. All right, awesome. All right, I picked up some generic DOT4 brake fluid. The front brakes, you know, I can obviously see through the wheel, and the pads look like they have meat on them. Visually, everything looks fine, so I'm not going to take the front wheels off. I'm going to just basically fill up the master cylinder and see if I can get it to build up any pressure. And if I can, then we'll start bleeding the brakes, and let's see where it goes. We're in this together. I got no idea what's going on here, so we're going to find out. I would think after, 50 years, that the O-rings inside of the master cylinder are probably shot. Unless there's fluid down in here, keeping them lubed up, I'm thinking they're probably shot, but we're gonna find out right now. I'm going to put the cover on and see if I can bleed them out a little bit. This looks okay, the cover does, on the inside, the rubber sealer thing. So I'm going to just stick that there, get this on, and let's see what happens here. Yep, look at that. I guess I should have investigated the pedal before I even put any fluid in there, because maybe there's something missing down there. So I gotta get over there and see what the heck's going on. Yeah, I need to make sure it's connected in the first place. Oh man, let's get the flashlight. Well, it's going in, but there's no seal. In other words, you'd feel a little bit of resistance. So I'm gonna take the lid off again and see if I got any movement with the fluid. All right. Let's see what we got. I'm thinking already this master cylinder is dead. I knew there was an extremely high probability that this was going to be no good. But you never know unless you try, right? So I'm going to mess with this a minute or two more, but I think our master cylinder is dead. So I'm just going to do some basic investigation here, but I think she's dead. I don't think anything's going on here. It's not building up pressure. I'll mess with it a couple more times here, but I think we're gonna have to get a new master cylinder. All right, I finally got the master cylinder in, so I'm gonna open this thing up, see what everything looks like here, and get this thing put on. Hopefully everything works out. You know, the brakes looked okay on the wheel side of it, so take a look and see. I ended up, you know, there's different options to get for master cylinders, but I wanted to get a good name brand, so I got a Ray Bestos master cylinder. So I know, I mean, they've been around for many years. So it's a well-respected brand, and that's important to get good stuff. So let me open this up. We'll see what it looks like. Wow. Looks like a pretty nice unit. I still got to take the old one off, but I just wanted you guys to see this. Pretty nice unit. Cast iron, of course. So I'm going to need to bleed this before I put it on the car. So first off, I need to take the one off the car right now. So just wanted to show you guys. All right, so I just got to get these lines off. There we go. That one's off. What a trip. Not a drop of fluid. Very interesting. You know, the pedal went all the way to the ground and wouldn't build pressure, so obviously the piston's messed up. The seals are rotted out. So I would think some fluid would have came out, but I guess not. I think we're done. Yeah, this is out. All right. All right, let's get this thing off. It's a 9/16, by the way. Kind of cramped in here. Get my hillbilly breaker bar. Make sure. Whoa. It's going to be just a little shorter than that long one. So let's see how that works. Oh, perfect. All right. Perfect. Since this bottom was hard to get off, I'm going to go ahead and take this one off first. Then I'll take the nut off the top one. Should be good. It's got a little lock washer on it. All right. So if you could see up there, there's a bolt that goes right through the pedal lever, I guess we can call it that. So that bolt has to be removed, so I can pull it out with the rod, and then I'll need to disassemble the rod to get it out. There's like a snap ring in the back of the master cylinder that needs to be removed in order for me to pull that rod out. So I'm gonna do that right now. That was a challenge, getting that out of there. I mean, man, there's no room to work under this car anywhere. Under the dash, yeah. So I did get that unlatched there, so I'm gonna just pull this whole assembly out. And what I'm gonna have to do basically is I need to take the rod out of the back of the master cylinder. So there's a snap ring in the back here that needs to come off. So I'm gonna work on taking that off. All right, I just want you guys to see what I'm seeing here. So you're gonna see for the first time with me. Just gonna pull this boot off here. Be nice to get a new one. I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. I don't feel like waiting another week and a half or whatever. So it looks like there's a snap ring in there, and that snap ring basically is holding this in there. I can't pull this out without removing the snap ring, so I'm going to get some snap ring pliers and get that out. Okay, there we go. All right, got the snap ring off. You can see there. Now there we go. Now I got the rod pulled out here. So this is that little part here that's keeping it from pulling out, basically. So, all right, so I made some brake bleeder tubes out of some old brake lines from the Monte Carlo. So now this is why I don't throw anything away, because sure enough, if I'm trying to rig something up, I might need it. So anyways, this is a pretty cool little setup I made here. So what I'm going to do is, you're supposed to bleed the master cylinder before you put it in. So what you do basically is you fill up the master cylinder, you fill up the reservoirs here, both of them, and then you cycle the piston here until the fluid starts circulating. And you keep doing that until the bubbles stop. And when the bubbles stop, that basically means that there's no air in the system. Okay. Now I'm gonna fill it all the way up. I can see bubbles already. So you want the tubes definitely going down in there. You're gonna need that. There should always stay immersed in the fluid, so I'm gonna bend this one down just a little more. Check it out. So what that's doing is the air bubbles are basically the fluid right now. What's going on is it's dripping down into the system, but once I start actuating the piston, obviously the fluid's going to start circulating. So I need to make sure and keep the reservoir full so we don't pull air into the line. So I'm going to cycle this thing a few times. Just pushing the piston in. See all the bubbles? All right. So I got the rod installed for the brake pedal. What I did is I tapped it in with a rubber mallet, and it snapped in like it's supposed to. So I'm going to get this thing put on the car right now. Looks like I got the existing brake lines in the way. Just want to get this thing over these bolt holes. All right. Okay. All right. So this one has like a lump thing, like a lump on the side here that, so now this isn't gonna work. It's gonna need like a swivel. I can at least get it in a little bit, then I have to put a swivel on this. Pretty cramped. Right. Okay, I'm gonna just put these brake lines on and then I'll mess with that, because I think these temporary ones are in the way. I think that's what it is. So I'm gonna get these off. Get this one off. It's spilling fluid everywhere. Get this in there. Yeah. These things are a pain to install. And I know, you know, these lines could be empty on the car, so I'm just gonna fill it up, let it sit overnight and see what happens. All right, now that the master cylinder has been installed, and I have the reservoir filled up to the top there, I have the lever for the master cylinder is connected to the brake pedal. I stuck the bolt in there and put the nut on it, and we're good to go. So, Jonathan, if you want to pump the brakes, did you do it 5 times? Do it 5 more. Okay, you holding it down? All right. All right, all right, we got some brake fluid coming through. Okay, let's loosen this up. Okay, let the pressure out. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go check the master cylinder. All right. All right. Okay, yeah, they've got a lot of bubbles that came out of here this time. All right. One last time, Jonathan. Just 5 times. You done? Okay. All right, now that looks good. I'm gonna have Jonathan pump the brakes again on this side now, on the driver's side, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll use a little vacuum thing. So go ahead and pump it like 7 times, Jonathan. Okay, hold it down. There we go. All right. Okay. Go ahead and pump it again. You holding it?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Okay. Just press it 5 times to start. Okay, hold it in place. There we go. Okay. Go ahead again, Jonathan, 5 times. All right. Okay. Are you gonna let go? So I think we're good on this side. You know what? Just want to make sure your little thing's getting full here. One more time for giggles, 5 times. All right. Okay, hold it, leave it. I almost didn't get this thing tight. Okay, you can let go. All right, now we're gonna go to the other side. Okay, now we're on the driver's side. Front caliper, we're gonna go ahead and bleed this. All right, Jonathan, go ahead and pump it 5 times. You got it? All right, let me. This one's a little stubborn. Keep holding it. There we go. Not much came out of that. Actually. Okay, let go, Jonathan. Okay, I wonder if this bleeder's clogged because nothing's coming out of the bleeder itself. Bring me the flashlight, Jonathan. All right, for some reason the fluid is not, okay, the bleeder is just, I'm gonna have to take the bleeder screw out and clean it because it's clogged. Hate to do this, but it's clogged. All right, I blew this out with the air hose. So let me put this bleeder valve back in here. Tighten it up. I'll keep it there, stick the hose on. Let's try this again. Okay, Jonathan, pump it 7 times and hold it down. All right. Oh, perfect. Excellent. All right. One more time. Okay. All right, let's get that nasty fluid out of there. All right, now I'm gonna top off the master cylinder. You can let go, Jonathan. All right, so I have the brakes. They're already been bled. I've bled the front and the back multiple times. So I think we're good to go with the brakes. What I need to do now basically is I need to wire up the electric fuel pump correctly. So obviously it's just, I got a wire running on the side of the car, basically on the ground, that goes to the battery here. So I need to find a hot under the dash, or maybe I might even run it under the car and then get some power off of where the relay is here. But I'm gonna figure that out right now. Stay tuned.